So let's ask like a kind of a philosophical question that came in. You could take a crack at it and I'll take a crack at it too. For leads, is there a world where you can still gate content but measure yourself on pipeline and revenue?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm glad that came up because, we get so focused on the way we do it that we can sometimes miss this. But absolutely. But a lot of the same tenets have to be in place, which is, as a marketer, you're really thinking about the experience that you want the salesperson to have and the right people. But yeah, you could be in an area where it's like, yes, actually, our best way of doing this is doing really good content, capturing a lead, and then either nurturing them through marketing or even handing them off to sales, but in a very light, kind of like touched way. And so I think that and then you can still get to, ideally, you're still not trying to like score them and stuff in marketing and then like hand them off when marketing thinks it's ready. So ideally you're still capturing a lead, but you're still waiting for a demo request. You know what I mean? So I think that's still the best world in that. It's like, okay, great, gate your content, but don't like try and pretend to score somebody and like based on their behaviors, all of a sudden they got to score a 50 and you think they're ready for sales. Like I don't believe in that part. Let them still go to a demo request. Let them tell you when they're ready, but still nurture them, maybe have sales outreach to them. I think that's still okay. And I think you can definitely grow and still be revenue focused, in that world.
So as long as you are not handing over fake arbitrary MQLs, I'm using heavy air quotes here, there's a world where you can do that, just like you said. I think for me, I'd only want to hand over people who are outright raising their hand and requesting a demo. But if your sales team is interested in, let's say you're running campaigns and they want to see who's downloading some of the content that you have gated, and there are accounts that are showing intent, I have no problem giving that to the sales teams and letting them pick how they want to prioritize their follow-up, their outreach, and they can go run outbound. There's still a time and a place for outbound. There always will be. People who say outbound's dead are lying. I feel they probably read too much on LinkedIn. There is a time and a place for it. I personally don't like whenever I'm, I try not to download anything gated, but when I do, I can't stand when I'm entered to an automatic outreach or sales loft sequence with the assumption that, hey, I want to talk to an SDR or an AE. Like that's just, it's not how we buy as people.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. I want to self-educate myself and then have somebody there when I have a question. And, kind of speaking to that MQL thing, one of the things that you and I were talking about earlier is the way we like to think about it is not an MQL, but let's just present sales with a list, like a prioritized list using as much data as we have. And we just basically prioritize it. So we don't try and pretend we know that like, oh, this cutoff point at 50 points, everybody above it, they're fucking buying. Everybody below it, they'll never buy. Like we're not trying to do that. We're basically just saying, you know what? We're going to order it in the best way we think we can with all the data we have. And then, hey, sales, you just go in and you cherry pick where you think is best. If you want to go down to number 783 because you got a story to tell on that person, perfect. You take that one. You know what I mean? So I like to think about it that way a little bit more than like, hey, these are the MQLs. Don't talk to anybody but these people that we say is ready. Like, how do you really know?
Are MQLs dead? Maybe. What's dead is defining whatever metric that you want to use in a silo as a marketing team. So if you're defining what MQLs are with your sales team, that's fine. Then there's a time and a place for MQLs. If you're using, the same definition, like that's all that matters at the end of the day. So we're not here to say MQLs are dead or anything really is dead. It's just all about the definitions that you're using and whether or not you came up with those definitions alone or your sales team and marketing is on the same page with how you're defining things.